You've been driving for decades. You know the rules of the road, you know how to handle traffic, and you think all that car experience is going to make you a better motorcycle rider. But here's the uncomfortable truth: the habits that keep you safe behind the wheel can straight up kill you on a bike. Yeah, the stuff that feels natural in your car, deadly on two wheels. Let's fix that. Hey everyone, Matthew here from Autozium, where we help real riders ride smarter, not just faster. Today, we're talking about the top 5 car habits that kill and how to stop riding like you drive before those habits bite you on the road. Let's dive in. 1. Riding like you have a cage around you. When you drive, there's a strange comfort in knowing that the worst that can happen in a split second is probably a dented bumper. You've got airbags, seatbelts, reinforced doors, and glass between you and everything else. That's the cage, and it makes you feel invincible, even when you're not paying attention. But here's the thing: once you swing your leg over a motorcycle, that cage is gone. It's just you, the wind, and physics. Yet so many riders, especially those coming straight from years of car driving, bring that same casual mindset with them. They cruise along assuming they've got time to react, assuming other drivers see them, assuming they're safe because they're riding carefully. But careful in car terms is not the same as careful on a bike. When you're in a car, you can afford to zone out for a moment. Your phone buzzes, your favorite song changes, your mind drifts. You've got 3,000 pounds of metal between you and disaster. On a bike, 1 second of inattention can mean a lifetime of regret. This is what I call the illusion of safety carryover. It's that mental hangover from years of driving something big and forgiving. Riders who never break that habit end up treating their motorcycle like a smaller, faster car, and that's exactly how accidents happen. Motorcycling demands presence, full attention. You have to read the road surface, spot hazards before they develop, feel your tires through your feet, and anticipate human error like it's guaranteed. Because honestly, it is. Drivers text, daydream, drift, and when they do, it's your problem. So here's the fix: ride like you're invisible, assume no one sees you, and plan every move as if that's true. Use lane position to stay out of blind spots. Cover your brakes when approaching intersections. And most importantly, ride with intent, not fear, but awareness. Every movement should have a purpose. When you adopt that mindset, your entire experience changes. Suddenly, the road becomes a chessboard. Every car a potential move, every gap an opportunity. You're not reacting anymore, you're predicting. And that's when riding goes from risky to controlled. You don't have a cage anymore. You have something better: agility, awareness, and mastery. You can't afford casual, you can only afford conscious. 2. Staring straight ahead. When you're driving, staring straight ahead makes sense. The car follows the lane lines. You're sitting in a box that's forgiving of sloppy focus, and everything around you moves slower than your reaction time. You can afford tunnel vision. But on a bike, that tunnel can kill you. New riders coming from cars tend to fixate on what's right in front of them: the bumper ahead, the asphalt immediately under their tire, or that shiny spot that catches their nervous eye. But the human brain can only process so much, and when your eyes are locked too close, your brain has zero time to react to what's coming next. It's not about eyesight, it's about vision strategy. You have to learn to see like a predator, not a passenger. Scan near, far, left, right, mirrors, side roads, pedestrians, escape routes. It's not frantic, it's fluid. You're building a mental map of the world that's always 3 seconds ahead of where you are. The golden rule of riding: your eyes lead your bike. Always. Wherever you look, your hands and body will subconsciously follow. That's why riders who stare at the curb end up hitting it. That's why riders who fixate on the pothole run straight over it. Your motorcycle doesn't respond to panic, it responds to vision. Here's how to break that car-borne habit. Next time you ride, consciously lift your focus. Keep your eyes at least 10 to 12 seconds ahead. On corners, don't look into the turn, look through it. Find your exit point. Keep your chin level with the horizon, and let your peripheral vision handle the road right beneath you. When you start doing this, the difference is night and day. Your lines get smoother, your reaction time improves. You start anticipating rather than reacting, and your confidence skyrockets because suddenly everything feels slower, like you've bought yourself time. Think of it this way: driving is about seeing what's now, riding is about seeing what's next. That small mental shift is what separates a shaky beginner from a rider who looks effortless on the road. Your eyes aren't just tools, they're the steering system of your brain. Train them right, and your body follows with precision every single time. 3. Braking, like you're in a sedan. In a car, braking is simple. You stomp the pedal, the ABS kicks in, and you stop in a straight line. But that habit, that reflexive slam the brakes and let the system save me mentality, is pure poison on a motorcycle. Because here's the truth: your front tire has one job, and it only forgives physics so much. A car's four tires share the load. A motorcycle's two are everything. When you panic brake like a car driver, fast, hard, sudden, you throw all your weight forward, compress the front suspension, and overwhelm the front tire's grip. That's when it locks. And once that front tire locks, you're not stopping, you're sliding. Car drivers can stomp, riders have to squeeze. Smooth, progressive braking isn't a safety lecture, it's survival. The goal is to load the front tire gradually, feel the suspension settle, and give the tire enough traction to bite into the road. That's when the brakes work at their best. Here's the fix: practice until it's muscle memory. Find an empty parking lot, get up to around 20 or 30 miles per hour, and practice stopping smoothly. Squeeze the front brake, not grab it. Add rear pressure. Feel how the bike shifts weight forward and modulate until you stop straight and balanced. Do it over and over until your hands know that motion. And if you've got ABS, don't rely on it, learn from it. ABS is there to save you from your worst mistakes, not to replace your skill. You should know how to stop effectively before it ever activates. The biggest difference between braking in a car and braking on a bike is that on a bike, you are part of the braking system. You have to move your body, brace your core, and stay loose on the bars. You don't just stop the machine, you balance it through the stop. Mastering your brakes is mastering your survival instinct. When panic hits, your hands revert to habit. So make sure that habit is finesse, not fear. Smoothness isn't just style, it's life insurance on two wheels. 4. Cornering like a car. This one catches more riders off guard than they'd like to admit. Because in a car, turning is simple. You spin the wheel, the vehicle pivots, and you stay mostly upright. But on a motorcycle, cornering is an entirely different dance. And if you try to do it like you're still behind a steering wheel, you're in for a rude awakening. Here's the truth: motorcycles don't turn because you steer them, they turn because you lean them. That's the magic and the terror of riding. Your balance, body position, and inputs decide whether you carve a clean line through the corner or end up crossing into the wrong lane. A lot of beginners, and even car veterans new to bikes, approach corners with stiff arms, white knuckles, and locked shoulders. They try to turn the bars instead of push them. But a motorcycle obeys physics, not instinct. And the faster you go, the less steering matters and the more lean angle rules. Enter countersteering, the holy grail of corner control. To go left, you push the left bar. To go right, you push the right bar. Sounds backward, right? But it's not magic. It's geometry. By momentarily shifting the contact patch, the bike naturally falls into the turn. That's what gives you that graceful rail-like glide through the bend. But here's where the car habits kick in: your survival instincts. When things get sketchy mid-corner, a tightening radius, gravel, or just fear, your brain tells you to roll off the throttle and sit upright. On a motorcycle, that's the worst thing you can do. Rolling off shifts weight to the front, the suspension compresses, and the bike stands up, sending you straight into the outside lane. The fix? Learn to trust the lean. Keep a steady throttle through the curve, or even add a touch of roll-on to stabilize the suspension. Look through the turn, not at the guardrail, not at the gravel, not at the panic. Your eyes lead your hands, and your hands guide the bike. If your eyes freeze, your line follows. A good way to build that comfort? Practice on wide, empty curves or parking lot circles. Play with lean angles, throttle control, and visual focus. Get to know how your bike wants to turn. Every model, from sport bikes to cruisers, has its own personality in corners, and learning it is part of becoming one with the machine. Cornering isn't about muscling the bike, it's about rhythm, vision, and trust. Once you stop steering and start flowing, you'll feel it. That magical moment when the bike and your body move as one. That's where the fear disappears and the art begins. Because the difference between a driver and a rider isn't the machine, it's the mindset. Cars turn, riders carve. 5. Treating traffic like it owes you. This one's brutal because it hits at the ego more than the technique. A lot of riders, especially those with years of driving experience, carry a silent belief onto the bike. I have the right of way. But out there, right doesn't equal safe. In a car, if someone cuts you off, it's annoying. You honk, maybe shout, and move on. In a car, you're insulated by glass, airbags, and a steel cocoon. But on a motorcycle, that same move could send you flying. And it happens fast. The mistake is thinking traffic owes you awareness, that other drivers should see you. But the harsh truth is, they don't. They're not looking for bikes. Their brains are tuned to spot big shapes, cars, trucks, buses, not a narrow headlight weaving through the crowd. You can be visible, legal, and 100% right, and still end up in the hospital because someone didn't see you. That's why the best riders don't rely on being seen. They make themselves impossible to ignore. So how do you do that? It starts with positioning. Stop sitting in blind spots. If you can't see a driver's face in their mirror, they can't see you, period. Ride slightly offset from the car ahead so you're visible in their mirror. Flash your brake light early and often when slowing down. A quick blip of the throttle or a subtle weave in your lane can grab attention without being reckless. And then there's lane strategy. You're not just occupying a space, you're managing it. In city traffic, use lane position to give yourself escape routes. On the highway, stay out of the pack, those clusters of cars that box you in with no room to move. Always have an out, always have a plan B. But here's the hardest part for most riders to learn. Let go of ego. When someone cuts you off, don't chase them, don't brake check them, don't let that fire take the handlebars. Because the road doesn't reward pride, it punishes it. You're not there to prove a point. You're there to make it home. I've seen too many riders ruin their day because they couldn't resist the urge to teach a driver a lesson. Newsflash: the driver won't remember, but your bike will wear the scars. So the next time you feel that surge of anger on the road, do the bravest thing possible. Back off, breathe, reset. Because staying calm and strategic isn't weakness, it's mastery. Remember, the road doesn't care who's right, it only rewards who's aware. Ride invisible but predictable. Stay assertive, not aggressive. And above all, never assume traffic owes you anything. You earn your space out there, one smart decision at a time. Here's the bottom line. Riding isn't driving. It's a completely different mindset. A car driver controls a machine. A motorcyclist collaborates with one. You have to feel traction, sense balance, read traffic like weather, and know that one mistake can ruin your day. But when you get it right, man, nothing compares. Break these habits now, and you'll feel your confidence, safety, and skill shoot through the roof. If you learned something today, hit that like button. Drop a comment and tell me which bad car habit you caught yourself doing on a bike. Be honest, we've all been there. And if you're new here, subscribe to Autozium for weekly riding tips that actually make you a better rider, not just a faster one. Ride smart, stay safe, and stop riding like you drive. See you in the next one.